Hey everyone, it's Army Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. It is time to go over the PvP Galactic Tournament 1 usage data. This is for the mid-season. So, Galactic Monsters, have they had any impact in the game? We're about to find out. My guess is nope, not at all. Maybe by the end of it, maybe the bounty hunt monsters are going to introduce something interesting. But hey, we'll see what happens. So as always, huge shout out, huge thanks to Monster Legends Competitive Wiki for putting this together. Link to the blog in the description if you want to check it out yourself. And let's jump right into it. Hell, it's that time again, the mid-season usage data time. I was a bit late getting started on this one because of the shift in events. I forgot that it was the mid-season. Yeah, SP, for whatever reason, changed the race with the maze. I wonder why they did it. I have no idea. It's interesting because it was the 4th of July weekend. I wonder if they're like, I wonder if we can see how many players still race. But then they didn't give out that great of a monster, but I don't know. I digress. I usually get them done on the final day of the maze, so this threw me for a bit of a loop. Anyhow, of course, I'll be saying my overall thoughts on the season for the end season as usual. I can't fully form an opinion until every single new monster this season out. And I hope the bounty is interesting. I saw new monsters through leaks and I like them a bit. Some interesting stuff there. Also seemed to be a sea oceanic based, and the last era's bounty hunt monsters were very based around space with abominations, interstellar bounty hunters, and whatnot. So with both of the upcoming bounty hunt monsters being themed around the ocean, maybe that's alluding to the era after Galactic. Only time will really tell. It's just fun speculation. For now, let's get into the data. Alright, so for those of you new to how this works, basically they take a look at the top 100 players and what teams are using on offense and on defense, and then you can calculate which monsters are quote-unquote the best because that's why players are using them. During the mid-season, there's a lot more experimentation going on, so the end season, it's what's definitely a lot more interesting. So A stands for attack or offense, D for defense, N and T is how many total players were using them or how many times that monster popped up. Alright, the ratio of players with pay-to-play Galactics and Blossoms as opposed to none was 85 to 15. Okay, that's not too bad. I don't think there have been any crazy interesting Galactic. Well, Galactics for sure. Blossoms, there's definitely some good ones. SP is starting to give out a lot of monsters. Serpentex, for example, was recently breedable. So yeah, we'll just have to see how everything comes out. Let me see. Just like last season, Currents. There was just 2 major breeding events that allowed free-to-plays to get their hands on Vrac Striker. I got one. Torvox, Serpentex, Brain. Very nice, very nice. I don't remember Brain. Was he available too? I missed out on him. Darn it. Alright, I think he was the $50 like exclusive Golden Pass monster. Alright, but with that being said, let us scroll down. So, Cherub Cupid, aka I like to call him Winged Armor Claw, is 87 usage. That is high. I feel like that's higher than last time. 31 on offense, 56 on defense. He is one of the most relevant monsters. If you ever get a chance to get him, if SP releases him in an event, do yourself a favor and get him. He has ET skills. He has Pierce. If he dies, he can revive. He has Celestial. I think he has Bulwark. Yeah, he has Bulwark for sure. Fantastic, fantastic monster. Put one on defense. Put one on offense. Triple damage. Buff him if it's on offense. You're good to go. I personally use my Cherub Cupid on defense when I'm trying to get trophies, and Serpentex for offense. Alvirah Demon Slayer. 78 total usage, 36 offense, 42 on defense. So Alvirah Demon Slayer actually beating out Cherub Cupid on offense with 36 total. So 5 more players are using Demon Slayer. I would have to imagine that AoE evasion at the start of the battle just trips up the AI. The AI is like, I'm going to recharge. So I can see that. I think mine's is close to being ranked up. I'm using it in the rank up survival dungeon. So yeah, there's her. And of course, Galvanus. What do you notice? Light, light, light. The light monsters are dominating. When are we going to get a new era? Or when are we going to get a new element that dominates? Speaking of light, Uriel. And then we have Earth. Alright. So, Galvanus is at 70. This is our anticipation monster. This was a free-to-play bounty hunt monster. 2644. So look at that. Very popular defensive monster. Uriel at 64. This guy used to be number 1. At one point, he was like at 91, 92 usage. It was insane. But he's dropped to the 4th spot. Still quite heavy usage, especially on offense, 43. That is the most used so far. Yeah, that is crazy high usage for offense. I mean, you have a lot more control. You can choose when to revive extra churn if there's no anticipation. Maybe you do the team revive. Obviously, you should have a lot more direction with them if you're using for offense. We have the King. So this guy essentially replaced Pango. I imagine there's probably going to be some Pango plays down there. Honestly, if he could, he's either going to completely replace Pango to the point where we're never going to see Pango, I think. I mean, there's the possibility that players use Pango like on defense and players use the King on offense, but I think Pango's going to be nowhere in the charts in some time. Maybe even now. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, he's basically a better Pangoliath, right? He has Megatons. He's an Earth monster. He actually gives his whole team damage mirror, too. I think it's supposed to be a self-skill, but SP hasn't fixed it. 35 on defense, 42 total. Omnia, amazing monster. Previous Tails monster. Love this monster. Can churn transfer, can cleanse churn transfer, can give a damage boost, can give double damage, can remove positive effects from the enemy on like a 1 turn cooldown. Insanely good monster. I am currently in the process of ranking her up in the rank up survival dungeon as well. Serpentex is like the Cherub Cupid for the Spender community. Exclusive bounty out monster, has Abomination Hater, so any Abomination beware. I mean, fire-based attack AoE, light-based attack AoE. You die, you come back to life. Really strong, massive singles as well. Fantastic monster. Shadow. So Shadow is a maze monster, I want to say. Also fantastic, similar to Omnia. What I don't like about Shadow is that her turn transfer skill does not cleanse. And obviously in a world of like dots and beasts and everything, especially random dots at the start of the battle, being able to cleanse is so valuable. So with Omnia, you can turn transfer yourself, cleanse the dots away, cleanse a positive effect from the enemy, give a damage boost, and then remove another positive effect from the enemy, and then turn transfer to your main attacker, and then cleanse as well. With Shadow, you can't do that, so if you have a lot of dots on you, be careful. Especially since you're going up against, like, I want to say that who starts you off with Sunburn? Cherub Cupid might start off with Sunburn, so your dark light is going to really hurt you unless it's Ignite. Regardless, lots of dots. But the cool thing Shadow can do that Omnia can do is trade disable. So say you're facing the King, and the dots aren't too bad. You can trade disable the King. You can honestly trade disable the whole entire team before you have to turn transfer to your attacker. Your turn transfer skill actually gives Light Hater, which is super useful considering light, right? Like dodge area, who cares if you have a Pierce monster? Evasion, who cares if you have a Pierce monster? So turn transfer to your Serpentex, to your Cherub Cupid with a Light Hater, they are dead. Alright, Neradiya. I like that she has pretty high usage. She was the Era Shop exclusive monster, so every time SP releases a new season, they release like a $30 monster, $50 monster, 30. I always forget. I think it's a $30 monster. It's Lamuna this time around. I didn't buy Lamuna, but I bought Neradiya. She's rank 5. Love her. She's amazing. I didn't know that SP was going to release monster like Shadow and Omnia. I thought she was going to be like the main one. She can remove positive effects from the enemy, get an extra turn. She can remove negative effects from yourself, give life regen, get an extra turn. And she can single trade disable, AoE trade disable. I thought she was going to be it. But yeah, then SP started to release these turn transfer monsters. Yeah, but it is what it is. Algata, look at this monster hanging on in there at 11. This monster has dodge area. You're there to triple damage buff your main attacker and OTK. Elf, Anticipation, and Pierce. Mother Talika is another buffer. Monk is annoying. This was a PvP monster, and look at him. He's what, like top 12, top 10? Crazy. Crazy, Monk. Good job. Forge Lab's another like triple damage, double damage. Taunt, Mega Taunt, ET Attacker, Anticipation, Dodge Area. Chill Long at 5. I wonder if players are still using like Absolute Zero. Clutch is Taunt, Dodge Area. Firefall is actually pretty powerful. He's a turn transfer monster. I think he starts off with random dots against the enemy. He can buff, he can do a random buff, and then he can turn transfer after. I personally like Firefall. I'm ranking him up in the rank up survival dungeon as well. We have Raris, Pango, look at him, 3. He's taken away from the King. Q3 is Taunt. Volcanix, love this monster. Also ranking up in the rank up survival dungeon right now. Race monster, so mine is like 144 now thanks to rank up survival dungeon. I mean, you have an ET skill, you do dots. You have an AoE skill, applies magic weakness, applies Bane. Bane is something we don't see too often. Tuska, interesting for offense too. Hidorian, artifact monster. And then you have like some monsters here and there. Look at that. Enhancer, that's a previous exclusive bouncy out monster. And yeah, these at 1 don't really matter too much. So yeah, guys, these are the top monsters as of the mid-season. So as you can see, no galactic monsters anywhere in sight. It'll be a while before we see some. Any and all thoughts you guys have? Based on the leaks, based on anything, do you think any of them are going to have any influence, maybe because of the talents? Any thoughts you guys have, let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much, and remember to subscribe.